am the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, where I give you the Impact Bound for Glory 2018 results. The show from October 14th, 2018, in in Queens, New York, at the Melrose Ballroom. First of all, I just want to say I apologize for those that were waiting for me. If anyone was waiting for me for this review. A lot of distraction, a lot of interruptions, a lot of commotions were going on. But yeah, Impact Wrestling. But I'm here right now, so I'm gonna try to get this out of the way. Even despite the background noise from the other room, and I also need to get this out of the way before more noises comes in, which it's going to be being in this room from my little brother. But yeah, like I said, Bound for Glory 2018. Like I said, they're in Queens, New York at Astoria, Queens, New York. It was sponsored by Conduct.com. And as far as the pay per view was, I'm gonna go in depth about what happened on this pay per view. But the one main story I want to talk about what pertains to this pay per view was the whole thing with Austin Aries. That's the one thing I'm gonna pay more I'm gonna talk more about on this review. Anyway, I'll talk about a few things too as well, but not gonna go too long with it. Um, but with that being said, let's get right into it. So your commentators were Don Cullis and Josh Matthews. They were way up high to the commentary, and what pertains to what happened in uh you know uh, how it looks inside. With the stage looks alright. But the problem is the venue they were in was way too small. The ring was too small. The guardrails from two opposite sides were very close to the ring. And I'll get to that part when we get to the main event match. But like I'm saying to myself, how they gonna have these wrestlers to do suicide dives, you know a diving plunger. How they expect to do these type of dives? Well, there was a way to do it too, by the way. From the basically from the other angle of the ring, which they had more room to do, and on top of that, where the stage was for that too, where it pertains to the ramp, connected to the ring, kind of like how WCW did before. Makes me feel like Eric Bischoff was back for this company. I guess I don't know. Makes it feel that way, but I digress. But let's get to this. Let's get to the opening. And by the way, the crowds were white hot for this Bound for Glory event, despite how small the venue was, despite who was on the card, despite the structure of how what it pertains of what game what they wanted. But and I'll get to that momentarily where it pertains to Eli Drake. One of Eli Drake's open challenge. But other than that, let's get right into it. Before I do, just want to say out of the open for this for the openings review is once again congratulations to Christopher Joseph Park, aka the Monster Abyss, the original the original TNA wrestler who which is now Impact Wrestling, but one of the originals to be inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, formerly known as the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame. I wish, and to be honest with you folks, I wish they would go back to the name TNA Wrestling. But I guess I understand why they want to get away from that name because it was a Vince Russo name, and Vince Russo is a fucking asshole for for telling them based on what I heard at the time that he wanted the company to be called TNA to really stand for tits and asses, but instead he came up with something he came up with a name of total nonstop action. But we all know what he meant when it pertains to the name TNA. But whatever. But besides that, let's get right into the show. So the show opened up with a tag team match: Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus Matt Sydal and Ethan Page. Rich Swann looked pretty good in the match. Willie Mack looked pretty good in the match. You know, Willie Mack, who's also known as the Mac in Lucha Underground. Matt Sydal, who's also pretty good. However, Ethan Page, who was once called, formerly known as Chandler Park. Yeah, I still remember that storyline, and I don't forget. Yeah, you could call me a smart for that. I don't give a fuck. But this is all what Impact Wrestling should have never done. What they should have done is they want to bring in Ethan Page, bring him in as Ethan Page. Don't insult our intelligence by bringing him as Chandler Park, as the cousin of Joseph Park. When it comes to this stupid garbage ass Park and Park attorney at law segment bullshit. And it's a good in a way I'm kind of disappointed that they kept him as Chandler Park, because what they were doing here was exposing of how he wrestles in the ring, Ethan Page. And sure enough, I see how Ethan Page wrestles on the show. Pretty boring. I find him pretty boring. Other than the two moves that he did in the match, a scoop slam off the top rope, and then a swanton bomb on I believe it was to Rich Swann. Yeah, I'm assuming it's Rich Swann that he did too. But other than that, I thought he was fucking boring in the ring. Now, as far as his wrestling was, um, I thought it was alright. You know, I mean, he's a heel. He's all about the third eye. But other than that, I can't find anything. I can't find a good reason to be excited for Impact Wrestling bringing in Ethan Page. I don't see it. But maybe he'll grow on me because after all, this was a tag team match. So we'll see what happens with what pertains to what Ethan Page can bring to the table as a singles wrestler. You see what I mean about the noises, folks? Not just because of my family, but because outside the sirens every fucking time. But whatever. But this tag team match lasted 12 minutes and 20 seconds, and Rich Swann and Willie the Mac won over. As they should, Willie Mack and Will Swan, Rich Swann, excuse me, won the match, and that was good. And they were having, and to kick off this match, was they were having a good time. So then Willie Mack cuts a promo talking about there are two front row seats are not taken, and basically he called out someone from who had a red hoodie and a green hoodie and said, "Oh, come on board, come to the front row seat because of Conda.com, our sponsors and for whatever." But other than that, Willie Mack told everyone to enjoy the show. Hope they enjoy the show, and there you go. And as far as the match was, I thought it was decent. I mean, it wasn't bad. I thought Ethan Page was bad, but maybe he'll grow on me pretty yeah, as it goes by. But I digress. But we'll see. But yeah, the match itself I thought was pretty decent. I'll give it a two. You know, like I said, there was some cool spots in the match when it pertains to Matt Sydal, Willie Mack, and Rich Swann. And Ethan Page, like I said, not impressed. But we'll see what happens. But I'll give it a two. Now, before I move on, let me see if anything happened before I move on to the next match. Oh yeah, so they show this whole controversy with between the Giant Impact and Austin Aries, where pertains to what's been going on with before they come into Bound for Glory. So Johnny Impact and Tyler Valkyrie was on TMZ earlier on that week, where they were talking about this whole feud between him, Johnny Impact and Austin Aries. RD Central, hi, how you doing? So Impact was is pissed at Austin Aries that he brought Tyler Valkyrie involved of all this, who is married to Tyler Valkyrie, Johnny Impact, and even Tyler Valkyrie was equally as pissed as Johnny Impact was. And then we get to the footage that they show at the Hall of Fame ceremony that was over with the Monster Abyss being Austin Aries coming in late, and then Austin Aries was going to apologize until he saw what was said on TMZ by Johnny Impact and Tyler Valkyrie, and that's when the whole brawl broke out. And then the whole thing with Josh Matthews, of what I heard, his acting was terrible, because they were trying to sell the fact that this was supposed to be a shoot, that it was not work, but because of Josh Matthews, who's a terrible actor, now it made it look like, now they made it look like it was a work shoot. Because also Aries was dropping the F bombs, and on Giant Impact, and then dropping F bombs to Don Callis. And basically, Don Callis, after they showed after they were done from the footage, saying that Austin Aries has some mental issues, mental issues based on what he did. And then Josh Matthews acting again was exposed once again, terrible acting, because all of a sudden we gotta go backstage. So it happened to Conan, his acting was terrible. So sure enough, we see what happened backstage, and Bobby Don Callis acting, it was on point. Josh Matthews acting terrible. This is exactly what I'm talking about with Josh Matthews. He's fucking garbage. But anyways, what happened backstage? Conan was laid out by King, and LAX arrived to see what happened with him, and Conan said he's going to see the medical doctors, whatever, and told LAX to handle their business against the OGs without him, and we'll get that match later on. But all right, now we get to the Eli Drake Open Challenge. So Eli Drake comes out. He issues a challenge against anyone that's from New York, who is a New Yorker. Impact Wrestling. Keep in mind, someone from New York, who's a New Yorker, born and raised a New Yorker, to wrestle Eli Drake, to accept the challenge. But we'll get to it shortly. So Eli Drake's cutting a promo about New York, especially to the Giants that was sitting at front row, which he will show later on where it pertains to Moose, because then they Pam to him when Eli Drake called him out, but whatever. So then who from New York who's a New Yorker who answers the challenge? He's not a New Yorker. He's not even from New York. James Ellsworth. And the crowds were hating it. They were booing it. They were chanting, "Fuck you, Ellsworth." Even though I'm jumping ahead, but and they chant, "You suck" to him. Basically, I'm jumping ahead about what was said there. Hi, Matthew. So yeah, fans were expecting Chris Jericho, which I kind of had doubts that it was gonna be Chris Jericho. But some people I thought it was gonna be either Tommy Dreamer. Someone who's a New Yorker, born in New York, to face Eli Drake for this Eli Drake Open Challenge, and instead we get James Ellsworth, a guy who's not even from New York, who's not a fucking New Yorker. So James Ellsworth says he's not from New York. Yeah, we know that already. Um, RD Central. Ellsworth sucks. This guy isn't a wrestler. Well, that's what everybody says. Same time, look at John Cena. Just saying. Oh, but yeah, he's a wrestler because he's built. He's garbage. And so is James Ellsworth. To me, he's garbage too. I don't get it. I don't see why people is into this guy. You know what? Especially the WE fans. And thank God that the Impact Wrestling fans did not approve of James Ellsworth because guess what? They didn't get what they wanted. They were expecting Chris Jericho. And but at the same time, Chris Jericho, I'm not surprised because Chris Jericho is loyal to the WWE. He's loyal to Vince McMahon, just like everybody else is in the WWE. Uh, RT Central. What I mean, the guy can't wrestle. He can't call a promo. He's just a joke. Well, I could say the same thing about John Cena too. So, anyways, so he's cutting a promo saying that he's not from New York, but he dated a girl from New York. Guess what? Carmella. Yeah, he's referring to Carmella. A woman from Staten Island. She's not really from Staten Island. She's from Massachusetts. So yeah, Carmella is not a New Yorker either. Carmella is not born and raised in New York. She was not born in Staten Island. She was born in Massachusetts. You could look up yourself. She was not born in New York. So yeah, but he made that was his pleasing case of why he sure why he's issuing he's accepting the open challenge to Eli Drake, and says that he doesn't like it when someone badmouths New York City because he loves New York City. Well, if he would have said that, I would have been fine with that. But to say that you dated, you know, whatever, and says that he's he's here for a fan, whatever. Well, I mean, what's this? Make a wish now, and then he go to say I'm pretty big, and then also get the chance of you suck from the crowds, and then we get a fuck you Ellsworth chant going on too. Basically, the Impact Wrestling thought that in their minds, fans was going to cheer for James Ellsworth because Eli Drake is a heel. James Ellsworth for some reason is a baby face. I don't understand why. Last I checked, he was a heel. An annoying heel who's not a fucking threat anyways. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, bringing in James Ellsworth. Because of this, James Ellsworth, obviously got booed, and the reaction he got wasn't good. And Eli Drake, I never thought I ever hear Eli Drake chant so big, so loud before, because of James Ellsworth. James Ellsworth is so hated so much in the wrestling business, from the wrestling fans, besides WWE fans, that that Impact Wrestling got these fans chanting for Eli Drake, and Eli Drake barely gets any Eli Drake's chance because other than the Eli Drake sing along, that's all Eli Drake gets, and the fact that some people say sucks after he says Eli Drake, which by the way Eli Drake doesn't suck. He's actually a pretty good wrestler, pretty good athlete, a pretty good talker. So why are we not using this guy as the focal point? He's got a good look. He's got charisma. He's got personality. He's and yeah, R RD Central. Eli Drake is one of the underrated wrestler in the world. Exactly. He's not. He's not. He's not being. He's not. He's not being appreciated right now in Impact Wrestling. I don't understand why. He signed a new contract with his company, and this is the position they gave him. This is who they got him working with for Bound for Glory. So basically, James Ellsworth got destroyed in the match. Obviously, he may have got some a little offense, but other than that, Drake won. And the match, I guess if you want to call it a match, 2 minutes and 10 seconds it lasted. Drake went for not one but two gravy trains, and gets the win. And basically, Drake was a promo after that, and talks about he didn't come out here to wrestle against a garbage, you know, and like exactly, he came to fight the NYC's for the best to have, not garbage. He wanted a top guy. He wanted a legend or a Hall of Famer, something like that. And also, sure enough, Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer, the Monster Abyss comes out to accept the challenge, even though it wasn't really a match, but they start fighting. Abyss with a back hole slam. Abyss brings out a table. Electric's gonna he cuts him off, and then Electric's gonna put him through a table, but all of a sudden he gets caught by Abyss, and then he gets choke slammed by Abyss through a table, and that was it. That was the segment. So yeah, nostalgia act for the Monster Abyss was on the show Battle Glory, and once again, the Impact Wrestling is continue on to disrespect Eli Drake. Next match, which the match I was actually into, and I said to myself about time that I finally getting into a match, and on the show. No disrespect to the tag team match from the opening, and no disrespect to Eli Drake, but let's face it, Eli Drake was facing James Ellsworth. But we get to the knockouts, uh, going at it here, and no, it's not Ali and Su Young. I'll get that later, by the way. But yeah, the Impact Knockouts Championship lasted 10 minutes and 36 seconds. The Impact Knockouts champion, Tessa Blanchard versus the challenger, Taya Valkyrie. As far as the match was, pretty damn good. So yeah, and also coming to the match, I was kind of expecting Taya Valkyrie to go over, but that's not what happened. She actually lost this match, which is surprising. I thought they were going to go all the way with her. I thought they were going to go all out with her by her being the Impact Knockouts champion, by being Tessa Blanchard, and they they for those for those that were expecting Ty Valkyrie to win, we got swerved. They didn't pull the trigger on it. They still had Tessa Blanchard retain her Knockouts championship, which is good, good. But as far as the match was, highlights of the match, we start off with some chain wrestling. Taya breaks out some lucha experience with some pair of spinning head scissors. Tessa comes back with pairs of flying forearms. Tessa hits the ropes, hits our right into a spear, arm from Taya. Excuse me. Tessa rolls to the floor, to sell the pain from the spear by Taya. Taya climbs the top rope, only for Tessa to crutch her on the ropes. Connects with a hanging neckbreaker, on the apron. Back in the ring, she goes for the hanging Taya, on the ropes, and hits a hanging code breaker for a near fall. Tessa goes for the buzzsaw DDT, but Taya counters into the German suplex. Tessa sells the arm to that, basically she landed around her arm. Taya goes for the running hip attack in the corner, and then she goes for the running Meteora. Then Taya lifts Tessa on the ropes, climbing the ropes for a superplex. Taya rolls through and goes for the locks of the guillotine choke. Tessa deadlifts. Taya, did that. As she rolls through, and then she goes to the guillotine choke. Then Tessa deadlifts her and runs her into the turnbuckle. Goes for a suplex. And the fans at this point was chanting for Tessa B ain't nothing to fuck with because she's a beast. Uh, Tessa and Taya exchange strikes from the knees, continue their the exchange on the feet. Tessa goes for a bustle DDT, but once again Taya as counters as she goes for the TKO, which the way it looks so very unique. Taya goes for the roll of Valhalla, but Tessa blocks it and connects with the Tessa cutter for a near fall. Then Tessa climbs the top rope, goes for dives a right hand into a choke slam by Taya. Taya climbs the top rope and hits a diving moonsault. Nice moonsault, by the way. And gets in their fall. Taya, but basically when she did moonsault, I thought it was nice, but she didn't get all of it, but still looked pretty good. Taya grabs Tessa from the injured arm, locks in the arm bar. Then Taya transmits into the to the trying to remember how she did it. The then goes for the STF. Tessa gets to the ropes, breaking up the submission. Taya once again tries to go for the roll to Valhalla, but then the referee was out of position. Yeah, as Taya hit Tessa Blanchard with a move because the whole ring apron skirt on that Tessa brought in because she got to roasting that, and that led to Tessa Blanchard kicking out, and the match still goes on because of that. Basically, we get a false finish from that spot. So after that, folks, um, so Ty goes for the another one of the road to Valhalla, but then Tessa blocks it, sidesteps her, and then for some reason, Impact Wrestling decided to protect Taya Valkyrie by having her ran shoulder first into the ring post. Like, come on, really? Did you was that really necessary? And sure enough, Tessa Blanchard goes for the bustle DDT and gets a 2 count. And I say to myself, why? What was the point of that? Why did they have to? Why was that ring post spot needed for Taya Valkyrie? I mean, based on what they did here, you would think that because Taya kicked out of the bustle after getting hit with the shoulder first by the ring post, that she was gonna win this match. But that's not what they did. They did something all different here. So because of that, Tessa Blanchard was freaking out that she didn't get on the win, and she tried to go for the Super Bustle DDT, but Taya blocks it and connects with a series of forearms. Taya goes for a powerbomb out the corner, but then Tessa counters into a Hurricanrana, sending on Taya to the turnbuckle. And then finally, Tessa goes for the diving top rope super code breaker or avalanche code breaker. For the three and that's how she won. And she got the 3 count in the win, winner and still knockouts champion Tessa Blanchard. But the way they did it, what pertains to having Ty Valkyrie go to the ring post just to protect her. I hate that spot, folks. But besides that, match itself was pretty good, and And I'm glad that Tessa Blanchard walked out of Impact, of Bound for Glory, still Impact Knockouts champion, rightfully so. Before I move on to what happened next, I gotta see what happened after the match. Oh yeah, that's right, Moose. Moose cut a promo on Eddie Edwards saying that he will finish their relationship once and for all tonight. From that night. And he was being interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell. And by the way, what the fuck was Moose was wearing? And he said, and the irony of that too, he said on, he's being interviewed. He's like, what I'm wearing, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, what are you wearing? Like, now what pertains to what he was wearing before, it's questionable. But this one, I'm like, wow, you're really reaching for this one, Moose. Like, what was is that part of your religion now? I don't know, but whatever. But yeah, there you go. So we get this match between Moose versus Eddie Edwards. And guess what, folks? Let me tell you how this match went down. I was so excited to see this one-on-one match between Moose and Eddie Edwards. They was gonna pull this match out. This was gonna be match of the night. To me, in my opinion, it was gonna be match of the night. Um, Moose and Eddie Edwards, one-on-one, and this is what they give us. So Eddie Edwards comes out. He got his candlestick, which is named Kenny, because he's crazy. So he drops he gives away because they're going to have their one-on-one match. Oh yeah, I need to mention one thing. Moose came out with three ladies. So I need to point it out, and they were all good looking. But anyways, back to the match. So Eddie catches Moose with the Boston Tea Party. Um, I remember what else what happened in the match besides um, Moose. I believe Moose did something to Eddie Edwards before he got hit with the Boston Knee Party, which is one of Eddie Edwards' finishing move. Yeah, but the Boston Knee Party out of nowhere. But instead of going for the cover for a quick win here, I didn't think by the way, when we hit the Boston Knee Party, I didn't think he was going to get the win here. I didn't think he was going the match was going to end from there. Because the match is starting and all that, right? So the last thing I was thinking about in my mind was that Eddie Edwards was going to get a quick win here against Moose after the Boston Knee Party. So he gets his candlestick, right? He goes at he basically teasing the Moose with it, and then Killer Cross comes out of nowhere from the crowd, starts choking Edwards, and the match ends in via disqualification in 2 minutes. Like, really? So I was like, what was the point of that? So here's the point of this. All of a sudden, Tommy Dreamer comes out. So wow, so yeah, Tommy Dreamer was there. So why did he accept the challenge against Eli Drake? He's a New Yorker, but instead they wanted to follow their storylines, where it pertains to A. Edwards and Tommy Dreamer. If you remember their match from Summerversary, Tommy Dreamer passed the torch to Eddie Edwards. Well, what pertains to a candlestick passing the torch type of thing. But yeah, Tommy Dreamer comes out. He evens the odds with Eddie Edwards going up against Moose and Killer Cross, and then at this point they should have Teddy Long out there to say we're gonna have a tag team match, and that's what we got by the way. But it was not just an ordinary tag team match; it was a no disqualification tag team match. And the match itself lasted 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Pretty damn good match. Um, I got nothing to say about it other than I enjoyed the match. Now, am I going to say is this a match of the night? Mm, it was close to that, but do I think this match stole the show? Not really. But besides that, pretty damn good match though. You have steel chairs involved. You have candlesticks involved. Any type of weapons that they used in the match involved. Killer Cross looked good. Moose looked good. Eddie Edwards looked good. Tommy Dreamer looked decent. And the only reason I say that because he's not in his prime anymore, but he can still go. Um, but then in the end, so Moose swings the candlestick to A. Edwards, but A. Edwards ducks from it and rolls him up and gets the count in the win. Okay. After the match, Killer Cross grabs Aors and tosses him to Moose to get Moose gives him a spear, and then Moose and Killer Cross does their double team, double bomb to Eddie Aors onto the apron. Nasty spot by the way, and basically I guess the few I think the few is going to continue on what pertains to Eddie Edwards, Moose, and Killer Cross. As far as Tommy Dreamer, he's just there for a one time thing, so I doubt that he's going to be, unless he is going to be there. Keep in mind, Impact Wrestling is going to be taping their shows at that venue. I didn't think there were, but yeah, they're going to be there for I don't know for how long the tape is going to be lasting, for week for weeks for weeks to come. But we'll see where they end up being at after that. So, but yeah, other than that, the match itself was pretty damn good match. Disqualification tag team match, good. Oh, by the way, I was really mentioning by the way, folks. Eli Drake versus James Ellsworth. I'll give it 1 star. Tessa Blanchard versus Ty Valkyrie. I'll give this match. I'll give it a 3.5. It could have been better. Eddie Edwards versus Moose. Even though it only lasted 2 minutes, I enjoyed it for what they did, from the beginning. But then I guess whatever 2 minutes because Killer Cross got involved. I'll give it a 2 though. But then you got Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer versus Moose and Killer Cross, which I thought was a pretty damn good match. So I'm gonna give this match I'm gonna give it a 3.9. Now let's get to the next match, which in my opinion, one of the matches that stole the show for Bound for Glory. But before I do, let me see if there's anything else that I'll say here. Oh yeah, OVE color promo, what pertains to the Lucha Brothers and Brian Cage. And yeah, basically talks where pertains to the match. So now this whole OVE rules match, folks, between OVE versus the Lucha Brothers and Impact Exhibition Champion Brian Cage. It lasted 13 minutes and 31 seconds. Now, where it pertains to OVE rules, I thought this match was going to be a hardcore match, but instead, I guess OVE rules means no tags made. It's basically a tornado tag match, and also no squad, no countouts basically. But there was no weapons. I like, what the hell? What's the point of doing no OVE rules? I like, whatever. I guess too much no rules was going on this show that they didn't want. I don't know. I just thought this will have at least some weapons in this match, but that's not they didn't have that. But as far as the match was, though, I still thought it was a damn pretty good match, based on how the match was structured or was booked. However, I gotta say one thing about Phoenix, about the one spot that in my opinion that he basically screwed up. I'll get to that when I get to it, but you have OVE. Like I said, you have Jay Chris, the brothers, and Sammy Callahan. It also what pertains to the Lucha Brothers. You got Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. teaming up with Exhibition Champion Brian Cage. And Brian Cage was heavily taped from the knee. He was obviously working injured, but he still looked pretty good in the match though. But highlights of the match. So we get a super kick party going on in this match. First of all, with a lot of super kicks going on in this match. Pentagon, Callahan go at each other. Basically, rehashing their beef from their match they had anniversary when the 12 match versus hair match. Pentagon takes out Sammy Callahan with some swing blade, and he did it also to Dave Chris as well. Gives him a hanging backstabber from, I believe, if I'm mistaken, from inside the ring. Cage kills Dave with a suplex, and Jake shoves Cage into the ring post, shoulder first. Here we go, the ring post again to this time to Brian Cage, who's a big guy. Phoenix goes for the back handspring headbutt, which was pretty nice. He didn't lose the times too, by the way. Not only just a handspring, but a springboard. I'm like, wow, Phoenix is on fire, yo. Phoenix, obviously, he's pretty damn good. Um, Phoenix goes for uh the double spring moonsault. Phoenix then backs goes for a back handspring cutter onto Sammy Callahan, but then gets eaten a dragon suplex by Sammy. Sammy goes for a springboard clothesline out of the corner, and Phoenix sends him to the and which onto Phoenix, and Phoenix was sent to the floor. Sammy goes for the pump kicks to Phoenix on the apron, from the apron, diving onto the apron onto Brian Cage. Cage then goes for he basically power bombs him onto the apron. Jay Crist dives off the apron, and Brian Cage catches him in midair and gives him a suplex. Um, the Lucha Brothers goes their super kicks to OVE. Phoenix goes to dive through the legs of Pentagon as he dives onto the Chris Brothers. Brian Cage then does a fall away. Yeah, that's a fall away slam on Jake Crist over the rope on the top rope onto everyone else on the outside, and then he Cage deadlifts Sami Callihan and suplexing him into the ring. Excuse me. The Lucha Brothers then show off their insane double team onto OVE. Insane. Jake goes for the diving. I mean not diving. Goes for the dead valley driver onto Phoenix on the apron. And then he deadlifts Pentagon on the top rope, but Pentagon escapes and kicks him, kick his legs out underneath him. Pentagon then hits the hanging ghetto stomp. Only, and then also get I mean only to walk into a STO by Dave Crest. Cage goes for some power bombs to Dave Crest. Sammy Callahan catches him with a pump kick. And yeah, a lot of pump kicks. Basically going on by Sammy Callahan. Fucking hate sirens. RD Central, you got good contact, man. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm alright. I'm not doing good, but I'm alright. I do my best to be good. But anyways, thanks for that comment though. Where was I? Oh yeah, so Cage goes for the power bombs, like I said, to Dave, and then Callahan with the pump kick. Callahan sends Cage out onto the outside. Um, goes for then we get a springboard Insiguri out of nowhere. That same kind of walked into by Brian Cage. Um, Jay Chris goes for a series of martial arts kicks to Phoenix, and then Pentagon Junior goes for the Pentagon driver by by Pentagon Junior to the Jay Crist. Phoenix goes for the for goes to run into a lariat by Sammy Callahan, but Cage catches him with his own lariat, which is pretty nice. All right, so we get the Lucha Brothers going for the double team of the Fear Factor and Ghetto Stomp combo, but the Chris Brothers breaks out the pinfall. Cage then kills one of the Chris Brothers. He kills both of the Chris Brothers. Excuse me, with the fallaway slam combo. Was pretty good. Um, Callahan holds Cage as the Chris Brothers goes for the double kicks. Callahan connects with a hanging STO. The Lucha Brothers then also breaks up the pinfall. The Lucha Brothers they caved in Dave's chest with some chops. Pentagon goes for his Codebreaker afterwards, and then Phoenix climbs onto Pentagon Jr.'s shoulder, and then here's the spot that I was talking about where it pertains where Phoenix screwed up with. So Jay Chris comes out of nowhere, going for a flying cutter onto Phoenix, but then Phoenix, the way based on how I seen it, Phoenix didn't fit into it that well, and it was basically a botch. So yeah, Phoenix screwed up that spot. I'm like, damn it, man. Which Phoenix didn't screw up that spot, man, because Jay Chris was doing the correct movement, but then Phoenix was a little delay to feed into it. Man, if only Vince would have not screwed up that spot up, that would looked good. And maybe just maybe I would have considered this as the number one show stealer match of the night. But anyways, so then we get Sammy who rakes the eyes and goes to a spike pile driver onto I don't remember who it was. Yeah, it was Pentagon Jr. on the apron. And then Brian Cage was squaring off against all three members of OVE. Also, Phoenix was taken out too, by the way. By Sammy Callahan, as Sammy Callahan, pushes him off the top rope onto the stage. It was a nasty spot, by the way, by Sammy Callahan. From there, Phoenix was taken out, and then the whole thing with the power driver onto the apron. Pentagon G was taken out by Sammy Callahan, and then the OVE against Brian Cage. Three members of OVE going up against Brian Cage. Brian Cage was Hulk. One point was uh bursting in anger. At one point, making a comeback. So Brian Cage goes for some backdrops, Jake, and then lays out Sammy Callahan and Jay Chris with some double clotheslines. Jay Kristen also with some serious kicks to the and to stomp Cage, and then the OVE hits their all seeing eye. Cage then kicks out at one, short burst of anger, and OVE couldn't believe it. So OVE goes for their triple punk kicks, then a triple super kick, and then they go for Sammy Callahan goes for the spike power driver. I guess a 3 count in the win. So yeah, OVE wins the match. And again, this match was a show stealer. If it wasn't, but if it wasn't for that Phoenix not connecting not feeding into the move that well, um, this would have been number one in my opinion. Next to the next match that ended up being match, match that was to be a more show stealer. Oh my god. But anyways, but match itself, I'm gonna give it a 4-star. Next, before we get to the next match, that I thought it was a number one show stealer. We get Austin Aries cutting a promo, basically being interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell. Also need to mention too, by the way. I forgot to mention this too, by the way. Tessa Blanchard was interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell about her match against Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard against Tyra Valkyrie for the Knockouts Championship. I forgot to mention that, so I had to make sure to bring that up. But so also Aries cuts a promo on Giant Impact. Talking about he struggles that Impact only shows up when he has something outside of wrestling to promote. He says their feud was turned personal, and he doesn't trust Impact management anymore. Basically, and this will lead to something, folks, when we get to it, onto that main event. And he says after what happened at the Hall of Fame ceremony, Aries says that he will bring his guys to ringside, and he said he could bring his wife at ringside to make it more personal, make it a family affair. And he said this isn't a reality show, or or some shitty B movie. This is my life. And also Aries was cutting a great promo, by the way, and I was enjoying this promo that he was cutting. And again, we'll get to what happened when we get to that main. But now we get to the next match that I was looking forward to the most, basically, on the show. Concrete Jungle Death Match, 9 minutes and 29 seconds. What pertains to LEX, Santana, and Ortiz, and unfortunately with Conan, I'll get to him later. Versus the OGs, Hernandez, Homicide, and King. So before the match started, where it pertains to LEX, they had some group of rappers performing. I don't know who they are, but they go by Banga Bands. Yeah, Banga Bands. I think that's how you pronounce them. And I thought it was a pretty good performance. The only performance we got so far, where it pertains to a big show for Bound for Glory, and they did for LAX. Now, couldn't they done for anyone else Impact Wrestling? They could have. But I'm kind of glad they did it with LAX. To make it to actually make it feel like it is a Bound for Glory event. You know, uh, where it pertains to this is their WrestleMania. Um, but yeah, Conan was nowhere to be found after that attack from King. That cow react by King, because King tried to get the upper hand. But basically, now folks, we'll pursue this match, the concrete jungle death match. I thought it was going to take place outside of the arena. I thought it was going to take place at the concrete jungle place, that location from in New York. That's not what happened. I wish it would have, like they did before. But what it did, they brought it to the into ringer instead. This whole concrete jungle death match, where it pertains to the ring. The ring mats were removed, nothing exposed but a wooden planks, and and basically, folks, just me looking at it, it looks pretty dangerous. It looks unsafe. Turnbuckles were removed. The ring skirt was removed. Everything was exposed. Everything was exposed in this match. This was a legit hardcore match. And just on the wooden ply planks basically were exposed, where one could easily just fell into the or get the foot's caught in there. But luckily they didn't, because luckily the referee, thank God for that referee, who's look like he's who look like he's 12 years old, even though he's tall, but still look like a 12-year-old kid or 13-year-old kid. But thank God he was making sure that didn't happen. Make sure that it was still staying straight and all that. Good job to him. Good job for him. And as far as the match was, pretty damn good match. Especially how the match was we had a lot of weapons involved, and on top of that, the ring was exposed to where there was steel and wood, and it was, and like I said before, there was some moments where one could have fell in there, or at least one of the foot got caught, and especially with Conan, where they didn't want Conan to be involved in the match, or whatsoever. I mean, because look at Conan. Conan is not in his prime anymore. He's not what he used to be anymore. He's older. He's got hip replacement. He once had a kidney transplant. He's a little overweight. He's not what he used to be anymore. He used to be one of the greatest cruiserweights I've ever seen wrestle in WCW. Also one of the greatest luchadors coming from Triple A, Mexico City, Mexico. And then he ends up being great what he can be in during an NWA TNA. Um, Basically, yeah, like you said, R RD Central, Conan 20 years past his prime, exactly. He is past his prime. So obviously I was expecting to see what he's going to do in this match, but he wasn't in this match to begin with. But I'll get to Conan later though. What pertains what happened during the end of the match. But as far as the match was, highlights of the match, we have LEX lay out OGs with some trash candidates. But Homicide and Hernandez drags Ortiz to the floor and beat him down, while King chokeslams Santana onto the wood plies, the wood planks. Excuse me. Santana spits at King. Son the fact that this feud is personal between LEX and the OGs, which is good. Um, then Ortiz lays him out with a trans kid. Yeah, basically, Ortiz comes in. Hernandez with some headbutts to Ortiz. Yeah, to Ortiz. Excuse me. At this point, Hernandez was busted open, like he was gushing out blood. But at the same time, I enjoyed it. Basically, especially when it comes to this match, of course, there's gonna be some blood. Hernandez and Hernandez and Homicide upset. They set up a table. Excuse me. They set up some tables. One of them says LEX and one of them says OG. LEX moves and I went ahead. My apologies. Yeah, like I said, they set up a table and they toss one of them to a table. I'm trying to remember when it happened. I think it didn't happen yet, but King goes for a suicide dive to the floor, and from there King hit the guardrail after hitting Santana. And Ortiz got out of the way in time. But yeah, nasty spill there by King, and King still can still wrestle pretty good. Hernandez goes for a border toss to Homicide on the outside to land on LEX on the outside. Homicide attempts a Greedo cutter, but Ortiz counters into a normalized suplex. Hernandez goes for the border toss onto Ortiz, but blocks it and hits the ropes. And then all of a sudden, Hernandez with the "get off me" shoulder tackle, sending Ortiz to the LAX table. Hernandez goes for the power bomb to Santana on the other side of the table, but Santana kicks him in the head and sending him onto the floor. Santana hits a somersault plunger over the top onto Hernandez. Santana kicks King in the face repeatedly. King screams that he's a not gonna say it. Santana suplexes King into the turnbuckles, which are not planned. Padded. Excuse me. Hernandez climbs the top rope, which led to LAX leading him to get into a superplex off the top rope onto the exposed wood. And also, LAX music hits, and Conan comes out. He goes to kicks Homicide, and basically kicking him in the balls, lays him out. Lays both Homicide and Hernandez out with flapjacks, and then Conan brawl with King, and then all of a sudden Santana kicks King back in the head. Conan then hits King by tossing him to a table, and then LAX goes with the street sweeper and gets a 3 count in the win. So your winners, LAX, which I predict they would win. So yeah, LAX wins the match and they win, and I guess they won the feud. And yeah, this ends up being match that stole the show. #1 show stealer match, next to OVE's no rules match. OVE's rules match. I guess I meant to say. Excuse me. So yeah, match that's lasted 9 minutes and 29 seconds. I'm giving this match a 4.5. Very this match was absolutely incredible and very violent, very violent, very brutal. Brutality, which is incredible. Now, before I get to the next match, which is the main event match, I gotta talk about this segment because this was supposed to be advertised as a match between Ali versus Su Yung, but instead of a match, it was just a segment. So Ali shows up to come into the coffin to travel her way to the underworld, hell, after making a deal with James Mitchell to travel to the undead realm, or in the show Yu-Gi-Oh, the Shadow Realm. So James Mitchell welcomes her home and tells her that Su Yung is holding Carol Hogan captured, and we're gonna ignore Madison Rain too, right? Okay. So Allie walks up the stairs. She sees an undead bride. Attacks her, and then she goes to choke Allie, and then Allie fights back with the axe, killing her. Or if you can kill an undead bride, I mean undead bridesmaid. Yeah, so Allie's had an axe, by the way. Yeah, I think you mentioned that she had an axe. She kills it. Not really, still alive, but before a moment, she goes to kill another one, and Allie sees her soul. And I remember James Mitchell saying to her that you can look at your soul, but you can't touch it. And for some reason, she touched it. And so I said, wait a minute, she's not supposed to touch her soul, like whatever. Uh, she finally finds Kiera Hogan lying in the coffin, and I say to myself, fuck. So this is like, why is Ali even doing this segment? Why is Ali the one is saving people? I'm going to Tessa Blanchard at this point now. Why is Ali saving has to be one of saving people? But anyways, I'll let you my full thoughts about this after the segment. But yeah, Carrie Hogan was appearing in the coffin. Was last was left of a career of Impact Wrestling and her dignity. Where was I now? Oh yeah, Su Young appears. She appears with an axe of her own, and she swings it at Ali, but Ali sidesteps her. They start battling. Her repeated, and then Su Young had a baseball bat, I believe, or I don't remember, but yeah, not at this point. It means not have a baseball bat. Su Young chokes Ali, then Ali gets that um that axe, hits Su Young with it. I'm sorry, not the axe. My apologies. The the Hatchler. I meant to say, excuse me, the Hatchler. Su Young then also pulls out her mambo claw onto Ali, and she gets her knife, and then Ali gets her the hacksaw, and hits Su Young with it, I guess killing her. And then Ali goes to save Kier Hogan out of the coffin, because she woke up Kier Hogan from the coffin. Yeah, so Kier Hogan is back, is now been saved, and nothing happened. By the way, George, when you get to this part, yeah, nothing happened. George, when it comes to Kier Hogan, she was saved. She didn't turn into an undead girl on fire. She was not possessed by um manipulated. Manipulated. She wasn't um um she wasn't under control of Su Young. She's just she's just on she was just saved by Ali, and she's back to normal. Nothing happened. No heel turn. Again, the way they're booking Kier Hogan right now is fucking pathetic. So anyways, so Mitchell stops Ali, because they're trying to escape, right? They'll open up the coffin, the girl out of the undead room, and then James Mitchell tells her, I always told you, I said I said I'll bring you in, but I never said you could I never said I'll bring you out, something like that. And he starts laughing, evil laugh, which I did enjoy that one. And also get the undead bridesmaids surrounding them, and then the return of Rosemary. She fights them off, and while we see the return of Rosemary, the cameraman cannot help but to keep looking at Allie, to keep camera angling Allie every fucking time. Yeah, cause fuck Rosemary and fuck Kira Hogan, yeah, that's Rosemary in the way of Kira Hogan to see Kira Hogan's reaction. It's all about Allie's reaction at the end of the fucking day. All about Al every fucking time.
Don't talk to me about that because you know what you were doing.
So yeah, Rosemary is back, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck at this point?
Talk to me about
And by the way,
because you know what you
the
were
crowds,
doing.
I heard from reports, crowds were cheering loudly that Rosemary finally came back.
She knows what she was talking about.
So Impact Wrestling needs to capitalize on this reaction for Rosemary right now. They need to capitalize on this right now.
Whatever. All right.
Have her show
I gotta
up
go 'cause I'm
at
doing
the Impact Wrestling show.
well, whatever. Bye.
Yeah, the crowd's cheering for Rosemary return. While they're watching this segment, that's all about fucking Allie.
Where the hell is the money? She's supposed to come up here. She's not. She's supposed to leave.
So yeah, Rosemary rescues them.
Where is she?
And then Sue Young comes back.
Where is she?
She got the hexo off her neck and all that. And then also basically all of a sudden we see some Dragon Ball Z duel between Rosemary and Sue Young going on with with special effects and all that. Also the Undead Bridesmaids are there as well. Rosemary tells Allie to go take care of Hogan out here and all that, escape, and Allie was like, no, I'm not leaving without you, and then get out here, yeah, it's gonna be okay. And also Kier Hogan and Allie they get out there, and the coffin shut and all that, and they're back into the real world. And Allie's trying to go back to the undead room, and then Kier Hogan's like, no, don't. And she says she's okay, it's gonna be right. And Allie's like, no, it's not okay. And then all of a sudden she got to her deep voice. She's not sound like a devil saying, no, it's not okay. And like, again, all about Allie. So what I think about this segment, I feel like I was watching a horror movie. Why do I say is while I feel like watching a horror movie? Because that's how the production looked like. That's how the production looked when it pertains to the segment. And another reason why I say it's a horror, I see that's it's not about a horror movie is because it is like a horror movie based on how horror movies is right now. And there's no script about this on this horror movie either. And don't you think it would make sense for Rosemary to be doing this against Sue Young? Why it has to be Allie? Why Allie couldn't be the one to be saved? This is Rosemary's segment. This should have been Rosemary's segment, not Allie's segment. Against what pertains to Sue Young. This should if this is what they want to do at Battle for Glory, they should have Sue Young and Rosemary. Why did they have to be fucking Allie? Enough with fucking Allie. RD Central, Sue Young versus Rosemary. That's what it should have been. That's what people wanted to see. Why featuring her every fucking time, and then outcast Kier Hogan every fucking time. And on top of that, you got the fans cheering for Rosemary during this whole thing. Impact Wrestling needs to capitalize on that. They need to capitalize on that, otherwise they're going to lose steam what pertains to Rosemary's popularity. So yeah, Allie, I guess her soul was sold. Her soul was sold. I meant to say, excuse me, to James Mitchell. So now I guess she's evil. I guess she turned evil now. I guess I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. At this point, I don't care anymore. Do what the fuck you want to do with Ali at this point. I don't care anymore. And the same thing with Kyogen. She's buried anyway, so do whatever the fuck you want with Kira Hogan at this point. I don't give a fuck anymore. Because clearly, you don't care about Kira Hogan anyways. All you care about is Ali. It's all about fucking Ali. Again. So at this point, I don't care what to do with Kira Hogan anymore. All I look forward to what pertains to Kira Hogan now is what she does in the Indies. I don't care what she does in Impact Wrestling anymore. So congratulations, Impact Wrestling. You made me not care about Kira Hogan and Impact Wrestling anymore. Hope you're fucking happy. Before I get to the main event match, they announced that Impact Wrestling is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, and they're calling it Homecoming at the venue called The Asylum. Main event time. And that's a 21 minutes and 30 sec. I mean 21 minutes and 3 seconds. Impact World Championship. Johnny Impact being accompanied by Tyler Valkyrie versus Austin Aries, the Impact World Champion, being accompanied by Killer Cross and Moose. Match itself, it was a work shoot match basically. It was personal. It was all about beefs. It was all about you know Aries being acting like an asshole, but which is not surprised there were pertains to Austin Aries, but they were having it back and forth and all that. Giant Impact, coming to the match, basically I knew Giant Impact was going to win anyways, and and guess what, folks, he did. But I'll get to that momentarily. But I'm watching this match and everything, and I see myself, wow, this match is intense, it's personal,
Oh,
it's
I
down it's
am
downright
wrapped.
got into to a whole new low.
Why?
But at the same time, it was good. It was great. I thought the match was great. Great main event match.
Alright.
Um, I gotta say one thing. Giant Impact.
Jeez.
He had some four spots in the match that I thought looked terrible. But one, I don't blame him for because of the way it was the way it looked. But the whole thing with the guardrail, where Giant Impact was going for a leapfrog to Austin Aries because Austin Aries, I don't remember what he tried to go for, but Giant Impact leapfrogs him as he has foot between the apron and the ring the guardrail, and then he goes for a moonsault. Now he couldn't picture perfectly do it good because because keep in mind the guardrail is very close to the ring, so but either way, I thought it looked all right, but it could have been better. And also he tried to feed to it very well too as well, but there's only so much you can do. But yeah, back and forth action between the two. They'll start also basically outperforming, out wrestling Giant Impact, where it pertains to some chin wrestling and some headlocks and also going to the ropes and look for some sort of a clean break. But and then what do away on the match for me a little bit was the Connor and Tyler because wait a minute, it's supposed to be a personal feud between these two. After everything I was said, what pertains to Weapon on Twitter and TMZ Live, and then at the press conference, or should I say at the Hall of Fame ceremony, as being a press conference for Austin Aries. Um, Chase O'Brien Pillman, by the way. Yeah, because hold on a second, folks. All right, sorry about that, folks. So yeah, basically what Austin Aries did, what happened on with the Hall of Fame. some ceremony thing going on. Where he came late. And then the Hall of Fame ceremony that was already over. It has now become the Austin Aries press conference. You know, kind of like it kind of remind me of Brian Pillman when Brian Pillman was doing the whole contract signing to be officially signed with WWE at the time WWF, and then he told everyone to shut the hell up, and then he says this press conference has now turned into the Brian Pillman press conference, and he's saying dropping f bombs, yo, he's out of control. That's also what pertains to what Austin Aries did during that's after the whole face ceremony was over for the Monster Abyss. Um, and Austin Aries was out of control and he's dropping f bombs. And also I've also pointed out too before what pertains to the Asylum doing live reactions of Impact Wrestling what pertains to the to some to uh, to some segments before we get to Battle for Glory, where Austin Aries coming out with a arm slang, and I pointed out before, like how Brian Pillman did, we had the arm slang out, where he's trying to get out of the match against Owen Hart back in 1997. And that's how I took from what Austin Aries did that with the arm slang that when John Impact was calling him out, and he's like I can't I'm not 100% on that, and for you to fight and all that, you know. And then it ends up he was faking it the entire time, like Brian Pillman did. He was faking that on that injury that they had back in 1997 the entire time. Um, but yeah, that's what Impact Wrestling was doing with Austin Aries right now. Making this work as a work shoot, like how Brian Pillman has been doing for ever since he ends up becoming the loose cannon during that time. But the point is, I was trying to make here was that here you had this match. This match is supposed to be a work shoot match, where Aries and Impact are they hate each other. They're beefing with each other. It's personal between the two. And then all of a sudden they start doing a color and tie up. Somewhere minutes into the match. Like I wish they would have never done that. But besides that, the match itself still continue on. No involvement of Killer Cross or Moose. No involvement from Ty Valkyrie in the match too, by the way. Um, but they were just they showed them to let us know that they're still there. Whatever. But yeah, the match itself was going great though. Despite the fact how it was being booked, it was great either way. Also, Aries one point was trying to go for some moves on to Johnny Mundo. I mean Johnny Impact, excuse me. Yeah, he's not Johnny Mundo because this is not Lucha Underground. But Aries got in the one point got in the face of Taya. So Aries and Impact were battling out in the ring, and then all of a sudden Aries goes for the he's taking missile out of nowhere onto Taya Valkyrie on the outside. Johnny Impact sees this and goes right after Aries on the outside. Basically, Aries had no remorse when he did that too. By the way, and he had Don Collins on commentary saying that this yeah, false Earth being and that's lower it down.
Wait, are you making
So yeah, do you got headphones on or something?
Sorry.
So as I was saying, Impact sees this. What happened with his wife Ty Valkyrie by Austin Aries. And he goes right to Austin Aries on the outside and starts going at with him.
He's right here in the room.
So Impact goes for a super kick. He goes for the Brainbuster, which is Austin Aries' finishing move. And he goes for the Starship Pain, and he hit it good.
I'm coming.
And basically John Impact gets the 3 count in the win. I apologize for that, folks. No, I can't do now. about this. So yeah, giant. Yeah. Well, if I had if I had my own private room, I would do it in a private room. But anyways, so Giant Impact, he wins. He becomes the new champion, the Impact World Champion. After hitting the Starship Pain, which it wasn't that not all that good because the way it was delivered. But he gets the win, and he's the new Impact World Champion. Then after the match, Giant Impact, celebrating all that. Just seconds later, Austin Aries stood up, no soul, the Starship Pain. He looked up at the balcony where Don Collins was at and tells him he flips him off, says, fuck you. Giant Impact is like had a look on his face like, are you serious? Like, and then Austin Aries leaves ringside. He leaves and he starts moving at everyone in the crowd, flipping them off, and he walks away. He walks out. RD Central. This Aries off game. Now here's the thing with Austin Aries. I'm hearing it was a work shoot that they do while Austin Aries doing that, and just to me, after seeing that, when I first seen it, going I was thinking to myself, what the fuck, Austin Aries, what are you doing? This is the Austin Aries that I've never seen do before. I've never seen Austin Aries no soul a finish like this before, where he's just no soul the Starship Pain, and he's flipping off Don Collins. He's flipping off fans and just walking away. I like what I was legitimately upset from that. To me, that right there ruined the rest of the show, even though the show was very over at this point. But it ruined to end the show on the positive note. And like I said, I heard it was a work shoot. If it was a work shoot, I give props to Austin Aries for that one, for that, because what he did there, it reminds me.
All these patients.
And shout out to Thomas for this too, by the way. Shout out to you, Thomas, from the asylum. That it was reminiscent. It was basically similar to what Brian
All
Pillman
these
did
patients.
back in WCW, what he did to Kevin Sullivan, sort of, in this match that was called "I Respect You." In a way their way of saying "I quit," to their opponents, right? And Brian Pillman gets a microphone from. That's what it reminds me of. Where back then when Brian Pillman grabs a microphone from the referee, and he says to Kevin Sullivan, saying, "I respect you, Mister Booker Man," and he walks away, middle fingers to everyone in the crowd, and Brian Pillman was gone from WCW from that point on, which by the way it was a work shoot at the time, and this one right here, what Austin Aries did there was a work shoot. However, I do not approve of Austin Aries no selling the main event match, no selling the finisher of Giant Impact, Starship Pain. It doesn't matter how Giant Impact delivered that move. I don't give a fuck how he delivered that move. That's no excuse to no sell that move. Uh, RD Central. Aries no sold the Starship Pain gives the main event a sour taste in people's mouth. It did to me. Yeah. I appreciate what Austin Aries did. Paying homage to the late great Brian Pillman, what he did there. Because like I said, it shades of what he did to Kevin Sullivan. Brian Pillman, what Brian Pillman did to Kevin Sullivan when he exposed Kevin Sullivan to being a booker for WCW, who's supposed to be an active member of the roster as a wrestler in WCW, and Brian Pillman went breaking the fourth wall by saying that Kevin Sullivan is a booker. But, yeah, and, and just saying the words, "I respect you, Mr. Booker Man," and then walking away, and then middle finger at everyone in the crowd. Also, Aries here, it was similar to that, but the fact of the matter is that he knows so the finishing move of Johnny Impact. Basically, and on top of that, no sold the rest of the main event of everything that they went that they did in the match. He did sell in the match, but after the match he no sold everything after that. And this is all this is what Impact Wrestling was going for. They got publicity out of this, which is what was a good publicity. I I think it was bizarre. I think it was in a way. I don't think yeah, in my opinion, I don't think it was good. I don't think it was good publicity because if this was the route they want to go with, they should at least have Austin Aries sell the moves that he been through a battle. But no, they didn't do that. Now, what does this mean for Austin Aries? Is he gone? Is he actually gone from Impact Wrestling? Did they do this because of what I'm hearing that his contract is going to be expiring pretty soon by Impact Wrestling? Which to me it makes no sense because why is that why is that even a thing? Because Austin Aries is not really signed with Impact Wrestling. He said before in his promo that he wasn't really signed by Impact Wrestling. He's a free agent that he can allow to go anywhere he wants, except WWE obviously, because fuck WWE. But um, I guess in a way I kind of respect Austin Aries for paying homage to the late great Brian Pillman, but at the same time, still fucking pissed off that Austin Aries no soul the the aftermath of that main event match. And yeah, like I said before, our D Central, bad taste, sour taste in people's mouth. Exactly. And there you go. That's my thoughts about it. I don't know what to say at this point, folks. It's to me it really kills the business when you do that. Aries needs to take some responsibility. Uh, yeah. Uh, he should have. So yeah, I'm reading here that Austin Aries' contract to Impact Wrestling expire after the show, and he legitimately exited the company in an angry faction. All right. Now the match itself, like I said, was pretty damn good, but like I said, it ruined the match after the no show by Austin Aries. Like I said, like you said, sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, including mine. Now, as far as Johnny Impact is concerning,
What are you playing?
I'm not playing them.
She's making a video.
Now, uh, now as far as Johnny Impact is concerning, I know he's going to win the belt. All I can say now is congratulations to Johnny Impact for winning the belt. But do I agree with him winning the belt? No. Do I agree with him being the guy? No. Do I agree with him being the face? No. Do I agree with him being, you know, the one being pushed and shoved down our throats on Impact Wrestling now? As now he's an Impact World Champion? No. But I but at the end of the day, I'm just going to I'm just going to have to deal with it. Now, Johnny Impact, he's obviously great what he does in the ring. The problem is, this company is fully behind Johnny Impact, where they gave him the Impact name. That's my only problem with him. Is the character, is that he's called Johnny Impact. He's going by the name of Impact by this company, by Impact Wrestling, and that right there telegraphs this is the guy that they're going with, and you know what, by all means, go with him. He is pretty good. He's very humble. So in the way, if anyone deserves to be a world champion in Impact Wrestling, it's Johnny Impact. Or you get your crowned by Johnny Mundo, Johnny Nitro, Johnny John Hennigan, John Morrison. Doesn't matter. They're going with him, and they're sticking by it. And we'll see how he carries himself as a world champion. So yeah, trying, and this is one of WWE's guys that they just let him go back in 2011. Why they let him go? I have no idea. Why they let him walk away from WWE, but they should have used him. They're idiots for not doing anything with him, especially when he came back, having losing matches. By saying he lost his mojo and all that. Basically burying Johnny John Morrison's character. They push him to the moon, and then also they stop pushing him to a point, and then he came out, and then he went out to be Johnny Hennigan, in these wrestlings, and then he also ends up being in being Johnny Mundo in Lucha Underground, being pushed heavily and on that show, and it will deserve and the way he carried himself, and then finally coming to Impact Wrestling, where he ends up being Johnny Impact. I don't agree with the name. I still don't agree with the name. I know why they give him that name, and I'm not gonna say much about it. But besides that, John Hennigan as Johnny Impact will deserve to be world champion. I'll say that. The match itself, like I said, he had there's 4 spots that he didn't look good with him, but one part of it I thought it wasn't his fault. He was he got you get what you work for, right? Not what Austin Aries though. Now I'm talking about what surrounding him. You get what you work for. You get what you work with basically. And basically after the match, John Impact goes to check on Ty Valkyrie to see if she's okay, and they get back in the ring, and he's celebrating as a world champion, and the show ends. I'm gonna give this match I was thinking about giving it a 4.5. I can't give it that after what Austin Aries did. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm just gonna give it a 4 stars though. Um, and there you go. That was the show. Now let me see if there was some other things. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was basically it. Giant Impact and Ty Valkyrie celebrates. And there you go, folks. That was Bound for Glory 2018. My overall scoring for the show for Bound for Glory 2018. I thought it was a pretty damn good show. I thought for most parts of the wrestlers, besides Ethan Page, I thought they delivered. And there's one thing that that needed the change hands in the title match was that world championship title match. Because there was no other belts on the line other than the Knockouts championship. You know, I guess I could have been fine with that belt being changed hands too, if they wanted to do the route with Giant Impact and Ty Valkyrie winning on that night to be in their champions. But I guess they didn't want to pull that trigger yet with Ty Valkyrie. I guess not until later on, maybe if she gets the opportunity again. Um, for Impact Wrestling, we're pertaining to Impact Bound for 2018. I'm gonna give it 8.5 out of 10. Could have been better? Yes. Could have been a better venue? Yes. Could have been a better outcome? Yes. Ethan Page to me was boring. Also, Aries what he did, again, half props to him, but the other half for basically no selling the match afterwards. I wish he would have sold for the match, but And as far as what else happened on the show, the whole thing with Conan, he couldn't be in the match that much. It's understanding. I didn't lose. I didn't care that much about it. Conan can't do much in the ring anyways. He's way past his prime. Um, and the whole thing with Ali just pisses me off now. Um, it doesn't mean I hate Ali. It just means that I'm just done with Ali now. I'm done with uh of this whole Ali being portrayed as the hero, as the savior, as being shoved down on my throat. I'm tired of that now. They need to capitalize on Rosemary now. And I would say something about Kira Hogan too, but why even bother? Kira Hogan is not the focal point anyways, and Kira Hogan is not their idea to be something in Impact Wrestling as what pertains to the Knockouts division. Then why you sign her in the first place? Why even bring her into the company if you wasn't going to do anything with her other than have her job, have her be a sidekick, having her being misused, having her being an afterthought. Oh, but she was on Bound for Glory though. She was on Bound for Glory. She was featured on Bound for Glory, but she didn't have a fucking match. And I respect your opinion, and basically, George. George, when you get to this part, I understand where you're coming from, but you need to understand. You need to see the writing on the wall there. They're not treating Kira Hogan as they should. They're not booking her the way that she's being booked in the indies. They're treating her like shit. And I'm sick and tired of that bullshit. But at this point, fuck it. Impact Wrestling, do what you want with Kira Hogan now. Doesn't matter anyways. She's not gonna be utilized on Impact Wrestling anyways. And on top of that, her music in Impact Wrestling is garbage. RD Central. They need to turn Ali heel. They might as well. They might as well do it. But I don't care anymore. Do what you want with Ali. Do what you want with Kira Hogan. Don't care anymore. I already know. I see what I see the path that they're going with those two now, and it's not good anyway. So, I'm not invested. I'm not interested. So fuck it. But I still thought it was a pretty damn good show. Was it better than Slammiversary? No. Slammiversary is the best pay-per-view all year for Impact Wrestling this year. Battle for Glory, it could have. But Redemption to me is number 2. Battle for Glory is number 3. And all we can look forward to what's going to happen for the next few weeks for Impact Wrestling for their tape shows till we get to 2019 for the new pay-per-view called Homecoming. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, which, by the way, Dixie Carter not be there. That's all I gotta say. That being said, thank you for watching, folks, and I apologize for the interruptions, the noises, especially from the outside. I can't. That's nothing I can do from outside. But thank you for watching. Hope and thank you for putting up with me. And there you go. And as far as my the video I'm about to do where pertains for me with WWE with this whole crown jewel situation with Saudi Arabia, I'll do a video about that whenever I can. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr., Natural Born Thriller. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, please do so if you haven't done it yet. If you enjoy this review, give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. Choice is yours alone. And I'm out. Y'all take care. Thank you, RRD. Yeah, thank you, RD Central for sticking with me. And if anyone was watching too, thank you for watching. Y'all take care. I'll see y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. But for now, peace on the streets.